In our favorite pieces of media, there tends to be connection, and certain things in them that are similar. But I've never seen more similarities than in these two cases. One would think, how would these relate at all? And that's exactly what I'm gonna show you today. Walter and Chris are the same character. Breaking Bad and Deltarune seemingly have a lot of difference. They're for different audiences, have different themes, different age groups, different everything. Breaking Bad is a TV show, Deltarune is a game. Deltarune seemingly targets teenagers to young adults, Breaking Bad targets grown-ups. In Deltarune, we make our own character, only to have it completely discarded, so we play as this kid named Chris. A seemingly quiet life with few to zero friends. In Breaking Bad, we see the point of view of a family man who has been diagnosed with terminal cancer. One would see no similarities at all, until we look into their colleague. Now, when we see Chris, we clearly see someone who's out of place, being in a town filled with monsters, being the only human there. And when we look at Walter's partner, Jesse Pinkman, we see a guy who is clearly childish and has felt out of place ever since he got into the drug business. Both are taken over by evil, the player, and in Jesse's case, Walter or Heisenberg. We've looked at Walter's partner, but what about Chris? Chris's partners can seemingly represent both sides of Walter. Susie, being a violent, ruthless person in the first act of Deltarune, and Ralsei, being a sweet person, representing the facade Walter puts up for his family and real life outside of crime. Ralsei and Walter both have glasses. Now, you may think this isn't important, but it is. In Walter's most crude moments, he takes off his glasses, as in the infamous "I am the one who knocks" line in Season 4 of Breaking Bad. Let's take a look at Deltarune's predecessor, Undertale. In Undertale, one if not the biggest foe you'll encounter is Sans. I am inclined to believe Sans is a direct parallel with Gus Fring. Gustavo Fring is a mastermind, a lot smarter than Walter, and is always a step ahead. He is a lot stronger than Walter, both physically and emotionally. He can be ruthless, but puts up a facade in order to seem friendly. When you do Gustavo Fring a bad move, he'll do it tenfold. Does this sound familiar? Sans too is much smarter than the player. He knows about the save and reload function. He knows you were a friend at some point, and that you decided to kill everyone for your entertainment. And he is a lot stronger than the player. Take a look at this. They both have this look. And they both die by letting their guard down, and the weaker Walter and player end up coming on top anyways. They both have a partner who gets killed. They both run a fast food shop. They both eat dinner with their eventual killer. In Deltarune, Sans really does not seem to be a prominent character. There really has not been an antagonist, and the ones that have are defeated with ease. That is because the biggest antagonist is the player controlling Chris's actions. Chapter 2, in the Snowgrave route, we are making Chris manipulate Noel into killing Bertley with the excuse to become strong. In Breaking Bad, Walter manipulates Jesse into killing Gale because he is the only one apart from them that can cook Blue Sky meth. Jesse is so far into Walter's manipulation that he kills Gale without another word. And both Noel and Jesse show reluctance before doing what they're told to do. Let me show you something else. This picture seemingly seems to be humorous, but this picture is a direct reference to Breaking Bad. Speaking of which, let's talk about Spamton. Spamton is a salesman who hit rock bottom after being corrupted by a strange man over the phone. At least, that's what the lore implies. After Walter receives a phone call from Jesse, he goes to where he tells him where his most prized possession lies, his money. After he arrives, he is arrested by his brother-in-law, Hank Schrader, but before they can take him to prison, Walter's colleagues arrive and kill Hank after Walter pleads not to. Take Walter's money and take Jesse as a meth-cooking slave. Speaking of which, let's compare Azriel and Hank for a second. Hank has always led a better life than Walter, being a DEA agent, being praised all around, and much like Azriel, who has been always the bigger, better brother, and the actual son of Asgore and Toriel, instead of being adopted, like Chris. Both of them have better life than their brothers. Walter White is a man corrupted by his curiosity, to live a life of excitement and danger in the world of crime, and so are you, the player. In both the No Mercy run of Undertale and the Snowgrave route in Deltarune, Breaking Bad and Undertale teaches us about morality, and how even the best people can be ruthless, out of desire for more. They teach us that no matter how good a person is, they can change, and the consequences can be horrid. Walter White is Kara, and Heisenberg is a player. Kara is the action, you are the consequence, as much as Walter is the action and Heisenberg is the consequence. In this analysis, I've compared the two most similar pieces of media I have ever seen. The connections are undeniable, and, believe it or not, before making Breaking Bad, the director, Vince Gilligan, took the time to play Undertale, and he made a show with the incredible similarities to Undertale. In an interview, Vince Gilligan stated how much he liked the character of Sans, and he wanted to create a character like him, so he made Gus. This is not a conspiracy. The man himself, Vince Gilligan himself, said all of these things. I seriously can't believe I'm the first person on the planet to put 2 and 2 together and realize how similar these are. Walter White is Chris. Heisenberg is the player. Jesse is also Chris. Ralsei is Walter too. Susie is Heisenberg and Lancer is Skinny Pete. Jevil is Walter White. Queen is Jesse. There's no denying it. This is a truth that's been hidden this entire time. Sans is Gus. Papyrus is Tuco. Newbert is Heisenberg. Mad Pat, do you hear me? I am dethroning you. I am now the game theorist. There is nothing you can do. Spamton is Walter. And that is why Deltarune is connected to Breaking Bad.
Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about?